And this is as part of our Diplomat Diary series. This is a special venture. This is a special engagement that we are hosting today. Because usually we host one diplomat on our panel, but we thought, given the topicality of Indian Ocean and its centrality in global conversations, we thought it would be useful to have two representatives, of course, High Commissioner from Seychelles and Counsellor from Madagascar joining us this afternoon for their giving us their evaluation of what is going on in their part of the world, but also situating it in the wider context of what is happening in world politics and how do we think of not only India, Seychelles and India-Madagascar relationship, but how do we think of Indian Ocean and its challenges and the agency that island states have in shaping the regional and regional strategic configurations. So we are very grateful to both of them for being part of this initiative. Let me invite both the High Commissioner and the Counsellor to join us on the stage, please. Thank you. So we have the High Commissioner from Seychelles now. We'll have brief interventions by both of them, speeches and their outlining of their vision before we take some questions from me and from the audiences. So thank you once again. High Commissioner, over to you.
Good afternoon. Namaskar. First of all, I would like to thank ORF for organizing this event, this dialogue, which is very important, and for inviting us to be part of it. So, because we know that the Indian Ocean region is very important, and the islands, even Madagascar is very big. We play a big role as well. So let me just start by talking about the Indian Ocean and the challenges of the states, of the small island states that are in the region. As we know that the Indian Ocean, we share views about the region of immense strategic, ecological, and cultural significance. It is one of the remarkable, it's one region where you have a lot of beauty, diversity, and potential. And despite the diversity, the island states face a unique constellation of vulnerabilities. And we share several common challenges, which can be summarized as the climate change impacts and environmental vulnerability, the economic resilience and sustainable development, the geopolitical pressure, the maritime security and strategic autonomy, and then the connectivity and integration. Let me look at one by one of these 5 points. The first one, the climate change and environmental vulnerability. The island nations in the world, we are the most affected by the impacts of the climate change, such as the rising sea levels, extreme weather, coastal degradation, and loss of biodiversity. All this pose an existential threat to the sustainability of island communities, because we have most of our population living on the coast. And they have direct implications for economic stability, public health, food security, and human mobility. These challenges are not abstract concerns. They are immediate realities demanding coordinated, forward-looking responses. So it was imperative for the international community to work in close partnership with the islands states, to mobilize and amplify climate finance, support adaptation strategies, and promote the equitable implementation of the Paris Agreement. The voices of the SIDS, the small island developing states, must be central to global climate discourse. For the second point, the economic resilience and sustainable development, many island economies continue to face structural vulnerabilities due to our size, remoteness, and reliance on a narrow set of economic sectors such as tourism, fisheries, and imports, especially like the case of Seychelles, we rely on tourism and fisheries. So the COVID-19 pandemic exposed our fragility and underscored the urgent need for diversification. That's why Seychelles is now thinking on how to diversify the economy. And apart from that, exploring regional cooperation mechanisms that diversify economic bases and build resilience, including through the sustainable development of the blue economy, should be explored. Responsible marine resources management, regional maritime trade networks, and investment in ocean-based renewable energy offer pathways to sustainable growth. Obviously, the sustainable development of the blue economy holds considerable promise. We in Seychelles, we just last weekend celebrated the 10th anniversary since we started with the blue economy concept. For the maritime security and strategic autonomy, the Indian Ocean, which is the third largest in the world, is becoming increasingly significant in global geopolitics, where the major shipping lanes connect the Middle East, Africa, South Asia, and East Asia. Approximately 80% of the global seaboard oil trade passes through. 42% of global crude oil and petroleum products are loaded and traded within the Indian Ocean region. Nearly 1 lakh ships transit the ocean annually, carrying about 30% of global containerized cargo. More than 50% of the proven global oil and gas reserves are located in the countries bordering the Indian Ocean region. And we have few key ports like Mumbai, Chennai, Colombo, Djibouti, Mombasa, Durban, and Port of Singapore. And without forgetting the underwater cables and energy infrastructure within the region. So these are some points that we need to take into consideration. But what are the challenges? The challenges are, we know since 2010, the piracy, especially near Somalia and Gulf of Aden, the smuggling, the trafficking, the IUU, the illegal fishing, the territorial disputes, and through some organizations, some procedure in organs in place like SAGAR, we try to get united and to counter these challenges. But for island states, the maritime security is not only a matter of defense, but also of safeguarding sovereignty, protecting natural resources, and ensuring freedom of navigation. So in incoming constructive engagement from global partners, it's vital that island nations are not sidelined in decisions that affect our maritime sovereignty. So again, strengthening regional security cooperation, particularly on issues like illicit activities, like I have already enumerated, is very essential to preserving peace and stability. And we know that with India, we're making a lot of efforts to keep the Indian Ocean as a safe and peaceful region. Regarding the connectivity and development gaps and integration, which is another challenge, there is limited connectivity in many aspects, physical, digital, institutional, which continue to constrain the full integration of island states into global and regional value chains. In one word, physical remoteness and limited infrastructure continue to constrain development. I already mentioned it before. And again, it's essential to collectively invest in infrastructure and capacity building, including transport, communication, education, and health system. Greater digital connectivity, improved transport links, and regional integration should be prioritized. And again, the development partners and multilateral agencies have a crucial role to play in supporting the infrastructure projects tailored to the needs of the small island developing states. Now, what is the way forward? What we think? Because of the challenges before us are complex, they are not insurmountable. They require coordinated, inclusive, and sustained engagement from all the stakeholders. No single island nation can face these challenges alone. This is why the forums such like this one, the roundtable, are vital. We must leverage regional platforms such as the Indian Ocean Commission, SADC, Indian Ocean Rim Association, IORA, COMESA, and other relevant platforms to deepen cooperation and solidarity, and to play a vital role in fostering collaboration, knowledge sharing, and policy alignment. In this context, the Seychelles remains committed to working in close partnership with the island states of the Indian Ocean to support national priorities, uphold the multilateral principles, and contribute to a peaceful, resilient, and sustainable regional order. So let's seize this opportunity presented by this dialogue to reaffirm our collective resolve and translate our dialogue into meaningful and measurable outcomes. Let's have a roundtable not only diagnose our challenges, but also advance action solutions. So we are committed to building a region that is more resilient, inclusive, and sustainable for all the region and for islands, and for the generation that will inherit them when we go and they come. That is what we think about the challenges facing the island, and some solutions that we want to present as well. I'm not sure if I go with the bilateral relations, or is after?
We can do it after.
Okay. Thank you so much, and Dhanyavad.
May I now request the Counsellor from the Embassy of Madagascar to have his comments, and then we will take the India bilateral in a bit, and then we will open this up for conversation. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone, and namaskar. I would like to thank ORF for organizing this event, and I think it's an important topic that we are talking about today, Indian Ocean Island. So, let me talk about the evolving geopolitics of Indian Ocean region. And then after we can ask many questions, and we can answer. The Indian Ocean region is a vital global trade artery with critical choke points for commerce and energy flow. India's overarching vision for the higher is Saga, security and growth for all in the region, aiming to be a net security provider and promote sustainable development through the blue economy, enhance connectivity and disaster resilience. This vision is complemented by the broader Indo-Pacific Oceans Initiative, IPOI. The IOR is a stage for geopolitical competition. China's growing economic and naval footprint, that means Belt and Road Initiative, increased naval presence, is a significant factor, raising concerns about debt, sustainability, and potential dual-use infrastructure. Western powers, US, France, UK, emphasize freedom of navigations and the rules-based order, often strengthening security partnership with regional players. But Madagascar is a strategic location of Africa's southeast coast, near key shipping lanes, makes it highly significant. It serves as a potential gateway to Africa for India and possesses rich natural resources. Consequently, the area faces both challenges: traditional and non-traditional security threats, climate change impacts, geopolitical rivalry, and opportunities for collaborative security, sustainable blue economy development, and enhanced connectivity. And a little bit about India-Madagascar bilateral relations. I think it's a growing partnership. India and Madagascar share historical ties rooted in ancient maritime trade and a significant Indian diaspora on the island. Recent high-level visits, including India's president in 2019, underscore strengthening relations. Economic cooperation is also growing, with Madagascar benefiting from India's duty-free preferential tariff scheme. Key areas for collaboration include trade, investment in sectors like mining and agriculture, and development assistance through capacity building and lines of credit. India's role as a first responder in the Indian Ocean region is evident in its humanitarian assistance during natural disaster, Operation Vanilla. And a few words about defense and security cooperation. India operates a coastal surveillance radar, CSR, station in Madagascar, enhancing maritime domain awareness, MDA. Joint naval patrols and capacity building for the Malagasy Navy are increasing, focusing on maritime security, counter-piracy, and combating illegal activities. Both nations also align on global issues within multilateral forums like the UN, International Solar Alliance, ISA, and Indian Ocean Rim Association, IORA. So that's all. Let's go forward to the questions, and then I will reply. Thank you very much.
So, High Commissioner, I think the Counsellor spoke about the India-Madagascar relations. I'll give the floor to you to talk the remaining part of your presentation, which is maybe the bilateral bit, so that we can then go on to some of the Q&A.
Okay, let's talk about the relations between a big sister and small sister, Seychelles and India. Seychelles and India, we enjoy a very warm relations because since the independence of Seychelles in 1996, we have started close collaboration, and this collaboration has grown up, and I'm very happy to see, to witness how it is growing big and bigger. So we established relations, diplomatic relations, just after the independence of Seychelles in 1976. The diplomatic mission of India was established in Seychelles in 1987, while Seychelles opened its first mission in India in 2008. We have so far 3 honorary consuls in India, and India does not have, because Seychelles is small, there is the embassy. Regarding the key areas of cooperation, the main one is the strategic and maritime security cooperation. It's the cornerstone of our bilateral relationship. Given the location of Seychelles in the Indian Ocean region. So we have in this area provision of patrol vessels, aircraft and surveillance equipment by India. And we have also the joint naval exercises. It's regular. Assistance as well, because of the EZ, we are small, we cannot monitor our EZ, so India plays a very important role in assisting us in this, without forgetting the capacity building, providing to our military staff. And recently, 1 month ago, we relaunched the negotiation regarding the hydrography issues between the two entities. Regarding the development partnership and infrastructure, through the high impact community development project, we have undertaken some project which impact are direct to the communities, so they know, they appreciate the assistance of India because the project is in the communities. We also have a line of credit and grants from India through Exim Bank, where we have undertaken some projects. For example, the construction of some government buildings and roads, and then through ISA, the Solar Association Agency as well, we have done some project as well. In capacity building, through ITEC and ICCR and private institutions, we have so far trained around 1,000 Seychelles citizens. To bear in mind, that Seychelles is small, so 1,000 is very big for us, which we thank India for that part. And then also there is the upgrading of some infrastructure and vocational training facilities in Seychelles. And also the training of diplomats. We send the diplomats from time to time to India. Regarding the health and humanitarian assistance, as islands, we rely on tourism. And when the COVID happened, we can say that we were on the floor because no tourists came, so we had very big problems. But thanks to India, because Seychelles was one of the countries who received the first countries who received the COVID vaccine. So we received it, and we could go back again on our normal business just a few months after, in March 2021. So another big impact that everyone knows in Seychelles, how India has helped us. And then there is also the technical assistance, so some experts from India in hospital, for example. And then the cooperation in telemedicine and digital health initiatives is also ongoing. Regarding culture and people-to-people ties, the diaspora, Indian diaspora in Seychelles, they play a big role. They are about 10% of the population, and they are very well integrated, and they came as a trader, but now they occupy very, very important roles in the economic development of Seychelles. And it also contributes to the people-to-people ties, because as you know, the historical ties, we have some common culture, and with the presence of diaspora, it's been solidified through the festival and cultural group from India and Seychelles' participation in some events in India. Regarding trade and investment, there is a big difference between the export and import. Being a small island, we import almost everything. And so, but for now, it's not all direct from India, but from other sources. Because, as I mentioned earlier, the maritime route as well, the maritime connectivity is another issue. And the Seychelles small, the volume that we import and the prices, whenever there is a conflict, the prices of the maritime going up, and it affects the prices we give to our people as well. So that is another area that I'm trying to tackle, so to have more collaboration, more cooperation in this area between Seychelles Chamber of Commerce and private sector and Indian Chamber of Commerce. There are a lot. So for now, we have some investment, Indian investors in Seychelles. Baroda Bank is present. Tata Ashok, when you say buses, they do not say bus, they say Tata. So and most of the shops are Indian, and they don't say go to the shop, they say go to Kasi. And I just learned about Kasi, the history of Kasi. So you can see through this anecdote that India is well present in Seychelles. But in trade and in investors, there are big rooms. There are big rooms to tap on. And now with the start of Indigo flights from Mumbai, it's 4 hours and something from Mumbai. Not only for tourism, for business, for trade, we can explore more about it and hope that Indian investors will now opt for Seychelles as, not look at the Seychelles small, but look for location, look as a hub, bridge between Africa, Asia, and even Middle East. And then we also receive a lot of tourists. So, for example, in the health sector, and with the progress achievements of India, we can tap on it and use Seychelles as a hub, providing, for example, Ayurvedic treatment. Who does not want to be in the paradise, at the same time have a treatment? So all this can be combined. On high-level engagement, we have seen the exchange of visit of high level, including the Prime Minister, Honorable Narendra Modi ji, to Seychelles, many Seychelles presidents as well as ministers on official visit to India. So this play a big role as well. And we have signed a lot of bilateral agreements in different fields that we can explore as well to further strengthen the relations. On regional and multilateral levels, we both closely collaborate at different forums like IORA, ISAM, Commonwealth. We both are a member of Commonwealth, United Nations, and I've already talked about the Now with India roles in Biofuel Alliance and the Voice of Global South, these are another forums that we can explore as well to strengthen the relations. So in conclusion, Seychelles and India, we have a strong strategic partner rooted in the shared Indian Ocean region and the historical ties. So the assistance provided by India to Seychelles, we recognize it, and we are very thankful to the government of India and the people as well. So Dhanyavad a lot. For the bilateral trade, I've talked that we need to work on it. So the difference between import and export as well, and to have more items from India. It's easier. The neighbor, it's in the same region, should be tapped. We should be tapped to have it. And then the other cooperation, like the infrastructure, renewable energy, and when we talk about environment, we know that Seychelles is considered as and recognized as a champion in the protection of environment. For example, we had a goal for 2030 to have 30% of our economic zone to be protected. But we managed to get it 10 years before, in 2020. And it shows, it demonstrates how committed we are. And we can share with India as well our experiences in the environment and climate change mitigation and on all issues. So I'm confident that before I finish my turn, then my tour in India, the relations between Seychelles and India will be at a higher level. And I cannot do it alone, but with the assistance of all Indians, whom I should present a very big thank you, gratitude, because since I arrived here 2 years ago, I'm very impressed, not only for the warm hospitality, but the assistance and support that I have received. It's more than I was expecting. So thank you so much, and let's put hands together to have the cooperation, the relations more stronger. Thank you.
Thank you, Excellency. Thank you for, I think, both for your work in enhancing this relationship, but also for at this particular moment laying out what all has been achieved and what potential there is. I think both of you spoke about the broader challenges that the region is facing, from trade and economic issues to blue economy and maritime trade, connectivity, of course, and largely broader geopolitical challenges. So Councillor, if you when you started and you talked about the broader geopolitics and how that is changing, and you talked about two partners, China bringing in certain kind of a footprint in the Indian Ocean, and Western countries also initiating and trying to build partnerships. We are looking at the geopolitics today, global geopolitics, which is extremely contested, very competitive, and the relations between major powers are becoming to be almost zero sum. So as Indian Ocean states at a time of this geopolitical contestation, what kind of agency do island states have which they can use to benefit from both sides of the spectrum? Because that is going to be a big challenge on a range of issues, whether technology, climate, financing, as well as bilateral trade and economic cooperation. So how would you from Madagascar evaluate the opportunities that exist, but also the challenges that come with this kind of competition?
Thank you for the question. It's a very complex question, but I would like to answer it in my personal opinion. As Narendra Modi ji, the Prime Minister of India, launched the Global South, the Force of Global South, so India may play a major role to strengthen the relationship between India and Africa, and in that case, to make a structure like BRICS, for example, and in order to how to say that, in order to strengthen the relationship between us.
See, you touched upon certain aspects of regional cooperation, and you talked of IOC, IORA, other platforms that are available. How effective, in your view, have these platforms been so far? Because there is a wider sense that perhaps as a community, Indian Ocean states have not been able to tap into the collective resources, collective wisdom, collective reinforcement that comes with working together. Why has this been such a big challenge, and where potentially we can work to ensure that those institutionally those challenges are met going forward, given the increasingly integrated nature of these challenges, whether it is trade, whether it is connectivity, whether it is climate change and sustainability. All these issues cannot be tackled individually. But we have seen that the institutional mechanisms have not responded adequately. So where do you think the problem lies and what can be done about it?
Thank you, Professor. I think the forums we have said they do something, but it's not enough, like you said. It's not enough. But last time I was assisting, for example, IORA Standing Committee meeting, because Seychelles is a vice president for Africa region. And I've noticed, and even in my report, I've noticed a big change, because I've seen now IORA now starting to collaborate with more other bodies, and collaborations between IORA and these multilateral bodies is increasing. So whenever there is increase, we should look at how every country's partner, member of IORA, for example, can benefit it. And during the meeting, I've noticed that many projects, what is missing now is, like you said, a regional project. For example, I said about a maritime route between the island. We have been talking about it for years, but so far, nothing. So every country just trading on its own. But when we put together, when we have the route, for example, that is an example, it will benefit everyone. The price will go down, the volume will up, so the price will go down. So it's a question of, for me, my personal view, it's a question of where we have to sit down and not only to talk, but to work and make sure the implementation of what we have decided, what we are thinking, and the example that I've given, the maritime, for example, because the trade, we rely on it because we import everything. So we need to sit and unite and implement and regional projects, for example, without forgetting the national interest and national needs as well. Thank you.
So, Counsellor, if I come to you for the same question in terms of from the perspective of Madagascar, how effective do you think the regional mechanisms have been, and where do you see the potential?
Okay. I think the mechanism of Indian Ocean region, as we say, there is no, as I said before, there is no official platform. So in my personal view, we should create together this platform in order to make it easier economically and to tackle also the both challenges, environmental challenges and economic challenges we are facing together.
Let me open this up for your questions, comments, and observations, and I'll also come back to the High Commission later on. Yes, I think if you can briefly introduce yourself and let the question come.
Good afternoon. My name is Keshav Padmanabhan. I'm a journalist for The Print and I cover diplomacy. My questions to the High Commissioner. You had mentioned the relaunching of this negotiations for the hydrography agreement last month. Could you tell us a little bit about the kind of cooperation in the field of maritime sciences, the hydrography issue, and how that is going forward, how that will sort of develop going forward? Thank you.
Thank you. In fact, I just learned it because, as you know, we had this hydrographic issues years ago, and it was dormant. And last month, we had the Chief of Defense who came, And I met him when he came back, and he said, "Why we are relaunching, having a complete review of the agreement." So he has not specifically telling me which clause or which article or how is it, but he says we are reviewing it completely. So maybe with the time he will know about the review and the new or all the clauses and articles and everything. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. My name is Markande Rai. I'm chairman of Global Peace Foundation and chancellor of a couple of universities in Northeast. I have spent about 28 years in Africa, especially in Kenya with United Nations, and I have been to most of the countries. I am really thankful to ORF and Professor Pant for organizing and inviting you. What is the perception of Indians' role in nation building in Madagascar and Seychelles? Because normally, generally, I have seen that in most of the countries, they are the way Excellency mentioned, that they are seen as more the businessmen. Are they involved in politics? Are they involved in nation building? Are they recognize also their role in promoting and developing those countries and to achieving the sustainable development goals and so on and so forth? Thank you.
Putting the excellencies in a difficult position, because talking to an Indian audience about Indians might be difficult, but yes.
Yeah. Oh, yes, I have already mentioned they play an important role. Yes, we have an Indian origin as MP. Yes, we are in politics, yeah. So, because they feel like Seychelles now, no? So, he's very active in politics. So, it can be interpreted, but they are integrated very well. So not only in the economic field, but in the politics as well. So the Indians in Seychelles, they feel very comfortable. Thank you.
More than just businessmen. Yes.
Yes. In fact, there is ancient maritime links between India because dating back centuries, particularly with Western India, Gujarat, the Indian origin diaspora in Madagascar came originally from Gujarat around 17,500. And they are involving in economics. You may know that two richest people in Madagascar are Indian origin from India, and but they don't do politics because the law not allow them to do politics actually.
Sir, I'm Samir Basin. I'm a geopolitical analyst. How do you see the geopolitical rivalries between the US and China and India and China play out in the Indo-Pacific? Is the Indian Ocean region neglected because of the larger interests are concentrated on the Indo-Pacific rather than the Indian Ocean?
I think that ORF should organize another session specifically on this item, I think.
China contestation or Indo-Pacific? Yes. So would you like to comment anything on that? No? Okay. I think that speaks for itself. That is too sensitive a subject. Yes, go ahead.
Good evening. My name is Radhe Tambi. I'm a research associate at CAPS, and I've been working on a book project concerning the island countries of the Indian Ocean. And the first question is that both the speakers did talk about the institutional mechanisms in the region, but nobody mentioned about the India-led initiative of Colombo Security Conclave. And Seychelles is currently an observer. Do we see Seychelles becoming a member in the near future? And also Madagascar? Chair, can I ask one more question? Do any of the island countries see that in the future there can be a contestation of for influence in these island countries between India and the China, because China has made quite deeper roads in these island countries, and all of us know that India was one of the a lot of indentured laborers went from India to these island countries, but so did China. And China has much deeper influence when it comes to economy. My third and the last question is, how do we see or how do the island states welcome the triangular cooperation between India and some other partner in their countries? Thank you.
Three sets of questions. I think one is India, China, which I don't know you. I think you will touch upon, which came back to you in some ways, and I'm sure there are others in the audience waiting to ask exactly the same question. So, but on Colombo Security Initiative, if I think that's something that you want to talk about, and triangular cooperation.
Like she said, we are observer. I think I've not heard yet any of decision. So for now, I think until the government announces, I cannot say on behalf of the government. So we still remain as observer. The triangle, I don't know which triangle you're trying. Seychelles, India, and? In fact, Seychelles, especially after the piracy started, for example, for the Indian Ocean, we collaborate jointly, even now, no? EU, because there is France, there is Réunion. So we have a EU, the NAFOR forces, there is India, there is Seychelles. So it's some sort of collaboration. It's some sort of collaboration to keep the region safe. And because of its challenges of IUU, the trafficking, the drugs and everything. So it's some sort of a triangle, even more than triangle, because different players are involved. But apart from that, as I said, for example, the IORA as well. I gave an example. IORA, I've seen now more of countries involved. So it's another collaboration, not only bilateral, but some different fronts. So I think I said that unity is the key. So why not to work together for a peaceful region and for prosperity of the people? Thank you.
So I think except India, China, and that triangle, other triangles are kosher. Yes, Simon.
Yeah, as far as I know, I didn't heard anything yet about the Colombo Security Initiative, and as High Commissioner also said, it's same position for me. I'm waiting for the government decision, so let's see. And about the triangle, I also agree with her, saying that there is more than 3 partners. Like in disaster resilience, maybe you already know about the disaster resilience. We are working together with many countries in the CDRI, Coalition Disaster Resilience Initiative. So there is a good collaboration. And we are member in this CDRI. Thank you.
I am Saurav. I am from the University of Delhi. My question is from the High Commissioner. What is the strategy of Seychelles in dealing with the challenges that is arising in the Indian Ocean region, particularly from the rising assertiveness of the China? And if you talk about a little bit between the relation between a strategic partnership between India and Seychelles. Thank you.
Thank you. I think I've gone through for each point, and maybe I forgot to say that Seychelles is a non-aligned country, so member of a non-aligned movement. So when we talk about when ORF organizes the other topic, maybe someone else come and then.
No, we will invite you only, Ambassador. But I think maybe it would be useful for the audience to hear from you about some of the things that you are doing with China. Maybe, I mean, it's just your relationship, your projects, or your engagement, economic engagement. Because I think That's a significant relationship. Just in terms of the relationship itself, if you can give us some headlines on what is.
I think our relations, China falls under our Chinese embassies in China. So I did not really, yeah. But as I said, Seychelles is a non-aligned country, so yeah, yes, yeah.
Evening, Your Excellency. I am Steve. I work with GeoJuris today. So, climate change and rising sea levels are very important issue for all of us in Indian Ocean. And West, which is historical contributor, should hold up to the responsibility of climate finance. But due to some government changes in US, COP is in shambles. So, how are we or how can we collaborate in COP to bring climate finance for all of us here?
In fact, Seychelles is small, but we have big voice. And wherever it concerns, especially the small island developing states, which are more affected with the issue, we do push. For example, for the blue economy, you know that we had in 2016, we started the swap program, okay? And SWAT program, we have benefited it. And we think that it's not only for Seychelles, it should be implemented, it should be beneficial to all the small island states. So it's one of the topics that we always push apart the other topics for the small island states when we talk about climate change and the global warming. So I think that we have a lot to collaborate a lot and unite again, and to have all the promises to be implemented for our benefits. Thank you.
I'm Manish Sharma. I'm working as an analyst. My question to Excellency from Seychelles is that as far as the islands are concerned, we are finding that India is getting a lot more, attracted towards some of the places like Mauritius, Maldives, etc. Even African islands are also jumping in with wildlife, etc. Because of their infrastructure, etc. And because of their, as far as their climate initiatives and with their infrastructure like resorts, etc., holiday packages, etc. They are a lot more attractive and they are attracting quite a lot of investment. But we are finding that some of these places like Madagascar and even Seychelles, etc., are not that big on the map. So what are the initiatives that you would be taking so that Indians can be attracted towards that as far as connectivity and all these, some of the steps that are there? Thanks.
Thank you for the question. Yes, when you say Seychelles, the reply is beautiful, and that stops there. Yes, no, that stops there. So since I arrived, I've tried my best to make Seychelles known. And the question of connectivity was the main issue, because before, for you to go to Seychelles, you had to go around to Dubai, Ethiopia. So the first step I did was to push for the direct connection. And now Indigo is flying to Seychelles 4 times a week. It's only 4 hours from Mumbai. If you leave Delhi at 6, you will be in Seychelles at 1 o'clock. Apart from that, I'm now embarking on the other step and mobilizing, working together with all partners, all agencies to make Seychelles known. And another issue as well, when you say Seychelles, they say, it's expensive. It's expensive, yes or no? But when I investigated, it's not that cheaper than, it's not that expensive than Maldives. Yeah, yes or not? But Seychelles is different. Seychelles, we have blue, we have green, we have another color. So Seychelles is a package, a full package. And I'm working, in fact, I'm in negotiation with Indigo, because I want to organize a trip just for diplomats and friends to go to Seychelles And I think that once it happens, Indigo will take it as a regular activity because the interest I have seen, it's very, 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 very high. So I'm working on it, trying to promote Seychelles more and have more activities. Last month we had the first time in India we celebrated the National Day. And that gave me, and I've seen all the people, all the guests enjoying it because first time they saw Seychelles group because I had a group from Seychelles. So I am thinking of having, why not a Seychelles night? But I think all of you would like to take part and discover the culture of Seychelles, which is not that different of India. So you will discover where we are linked, where we can share, and where we can collaborate more. So I'm working on it. Thank you.
See, already you have an invite for a night out. So please take the ambassador, take the High Commissioner on it. Take her up on that, and hopefully you will also consider as your friend when you organize the trip to Seychelles, right? Yes. So ORF as a friend.
I said it in early.
Yes, I think there are people here. I think let's go there and then here. Yeah.
Evening. Thank you, Excellencies, for your insights. My name is Tanishq. I am an undergraduate student at King's College London. So in the West, there has been a rising sentiment over tourism becoming very pricey. And I believe that for two of the greatest tourist economies like India and Seychelles, even with... Oh, all right. Yeah, sorry. With India and Seychelles, the two great tourist economies, and even Madagascar is an emerging one. Is this a great time for us to explore how we can collaborate on tourism? And High Commissioner, what are your priorities in terms of collaborating with Indian islands, not the Indian mainland, the Indian islands and their governments for promoting shared tourism? Thank you.
Thank you. I can see you have a lot of interest about Seychelles and the island. When I went for the inauguration of the flight from Mumbai to Seychelles, there were bloggers. There were bloggers on board as well. They went to Seychelles, and after the visit, I followed them on Instagram just to see what are their views. And they, in fact, talked about the pricey, very expensive. And they said, no, it's not expensive. It depends if you want to stay at 5-7-star hotel and you stay there just to sleep and go around. Or, because in Seychelles, we have a Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Tourism. Okay? And my minister was responsible for tourism before. He knows what to do. So every time he's at home, he's in Seychelles, every Friday, he goes and visits the small establishment. I can assure you that the small establishments in Seychelles, high standard, very nice, and you have the touch with the community, the locals, and you learn. Last year, I had 2 delegations. One went, I told them, go to the smaller establishments. They went to 5-star hotels, and the other one went to a small establishment. And, people now post everything. When they post, and the one, we went to the small establishment, cooking on the beach, dancing on the beach with the community. The other one is only on the swimming pool. So it shows that when you go, and we are promoting the small establishments owned by the locals, because we are promoting now the, for example, classes of Seychelles dance, cooking, even language. Language, you can learn it during your stay in Seychelles. So we are pushing people not to go to the 5-star, because 5 stars, 6 star, you tend to have everything there around and you stay there. I think we have someone who went to Seychelles here. You can witness and tell us about as well. Thank you.
Yes, I think we'll ask him to share the dance moves as well. Yes, because so yes, I think that go ahead.
Hello, myself Anuj Singh Tomar, master's student of Delhi University. As both of you have talked about the cooperation of Madagascar and Seychelles, about the cooperation of maritime and security when it comes to the Indian Ocean and Pacific region, there is a group named as Quad, which is also ensuring the security and navigation at the region of Indian Ocean and Pacific Oceans. So how Seychelles and Madagascar cooperating with the Quad or the Quad countries in order to ensure the security and curtail the those elements which actually contesting the security of that region.
Have heard also about this initiative. It's a geoinformatics application in rural development, and I think things are going on actually, but it's a little bit, how to say that, complicated with the government. We have to wait for them. So I don't want to talk on behalf of the government. I can give you my answer later on. Okay.
So I have a few more questions remaining. I think I'll go at the back and then I'll come here.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Hiren Kotak from land of our visionary Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, Gujarat. First of all, I'd like to mention both states as not only SIDS, but as large ocean states, and opportunities lies under this title. We have very large scale opportunities in renewable energy. In Seychelles itself is a Romanville plant, and Madagascar can adopt such opportunity from Gujarat and very other parts of India.
Yes, Seychelles Island, we have almost 365 days of sun, and it's an area that we do explore. A few weeks ago, I visited the biggest solar project by Mr. Adani Group in Gujarat. I was very impressed. And I told Mr. Adani, I said, Seychelles, we need it. You don't need the big hits. We needed a small part of it for us to cover all the area, because it's big. It's a big project. So yes, there is a scope, and we need to tap on all possibilities and all opportunities, because sun is free. Why not? And in Seychelles, we have a policy of all the equipment for solar. It's a free tax. And then if you have reserve, you have extra, you can sell it back to the PUC, the corporation who is dealing with energy. So pushing all the people to be more conscious and to take part in the efforts of the government to have Seychelles well covered in the renewable energy and use the sun, which we have all year, for the benefits of the country. So I think it's a area that I as well need to work closely with Indian companies, Indian entities, to have more collaboration on it. And it's one of investment opportunities in Seychelles, one of the area. So we need to tap on it.
My name is Dibakar, and I'm a PhD scholar researching nation branding. So I'll be asking a question for my own benefit. What do you think are the shortcomings of India's image as a country brand in both Seychelles and Madagascar? And what do you think, if you can identify those shortcomings, that would be very helpful. And what do you think India can do in order to improve itself as a more preferred partner as compared to other major powers that are emerging in this region? Thank you.
So he's asking you to write his dissertation for you and give him give him some points. It will be primary research for him. Yes. So he's asking if there are any branding problems that India has in Madagascar. Maybe how is India perceived, and why is what kind of image India enjoys in the country? Is it all positive, or if there are any negatives, what are they?
No, I think there is not much branding issues there, because most of the Indian businessmen doing their own business and create their own brands there. So I mean, there is no Tata yet there. There is no Mahindra there. So the businessmen there, the Indian businessmen created their own companies, and they create their own brands. Yeah.
I think there is no much problems. I feel I have said it before. The Indian in Seychelles, they feel comfortable, and they are integrated very well. And they form part of the players, important players, to fortify, to solidify, enhance the collaboration and the relations between the two countries. As far as problem, I've not identified or noticed any.
Are the Indian tourists behaving in Seychelles?
So far, I've not heard. So they dance very nicely and they behave very.
Did he behave himself?
That's why he can't return.
Yes, I think there was a question.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you for the wonderful comments that both of you have made, and thank you, Harsh sir, for whatever you said. I am Rushank. I work as a LAM fellow. I assist a member of parliament for the legislative research. And I had two distinct questions for you, ma'am. Especially, the first question is for both the excellencies, and the second one specifically to Seychelles. So when the Excellency of Seychelles mentioned about illegal fishing, the problem of illegal fishing, and in the modern context, however, I was not planning to take names of China or some other country, but I'll again just mention it that China is one of the key players engaging in illegal fishing with many other countries. Even Sri Lanka and India are into too many skirmishes happening between both the countries because of the fishermen taking their boats to each other's territory. So how the countries probably are cooperating in the Indian Ocean region to reduce the problem of illegal fishing. And the second question targeted to the Excellency of Seychelles is how Commonwealth is perceived as a medium or as an organization aiding in the process of international cooperation or South-South cooperation, to be very specific, at a time when Commonwealth as a group is seen to have been diminishing in its value or diminishing in the hold that it had earlier on the world.
Okay. Regarding the, I can't say protection, safeguarding of the Indian Ocean from the illegal activities, I think that there is a collaboration. I mentioned it as an example. We work with India, we work with the EU, we work with the neighboring countries, with Madagascar. And yes, there are the illegal the people from other countries, even from the countries, but we need to know as well why and the reason. And Seychelles, we have had many experiences, and we collaborate with the countries where the people come from, for example, Iran, Sri Lanka, Comor, even Madagascar. And we have settled some accord, some agreement sometimes. For example, if we arrest one boat, for example, we agree with the country, for example, Sri Lanka, we send back all the staff equipped was on board while waiting for the legal procedure, because sometimes it costs us a lot to feed all these people and to house them. So we had to get an agreement with the country where they are from and have such a settlement. So it's not easy because sometimes we understand why they are in your territory. They don't know any, maybe they come and the captain and men, they know. But the simple people, they don't know. So they are like, why I'm arrested here? Why I'm to stay in Seychelles for 3 months waiting for the legal procedure? So yes, I once I accompanied a group to Madagascar. We sent them back. We pay all the arrangements to get them back and keep what we should be stay in Seychelles waiting for the legal procedures. So yes, it's a big problem, but we collaborate with many countries, bordering countries, and all those who's NAVFOR who is there because of piracy, but sometimes they arrest as well illegal fisher, and then we collaborate with everyone. Thank you.
Illegal fishing, we also collaborate with many countries, but we have a lack of staff in Madagascar, but many countries partner offering the training and also exercise in Madagascar.
Okay, I'll just take the last round of questions. So if there are any hands I've missed, I know there is one there at the back, but anyone else? Okay, so I have one here and one follow-up. Okay, you have one. So let's take a few of these questions together. Yes, please. Go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. I'm Samir Bhattacharya. I work in ORF as Associate Fellow. So my question to His Excellency Councillor. So last year, UK gave back the sovereignty of Chagos Island to Mauritius. And now there is another contested set of islands, scattered islands, and which is, France is supposed to give back the sovereignty, and the discussion is going on. I just wanted to know what is the status of that negotiation and how soon you think you will get it back?
Excellencies, since you are touching illegal activities, can you throw some light on drug trafficking through your region?
Greetings, Your Excellency. I am Anirudh Tyagi and the MyGov Ambassador at Ministry of Electronics, Government of India. My question is, taking the cue from your argument that sun is open, we all are well versed with the fact that India is leading in space. Is there any scope of space treaties between both the nations? And if there is, in which particular context will it be? Will it be in the coming up Gaganyaan project, or will it be in the upcoming projects which ISRO has laid down before the world? Thank you.
Good evening, Your Excellency. I'm Avinya, a research intern at ORF. My question to you would be, ma'am, like when you spoke about learning the Seychelles language and the dance and everything, how is the soft power diplomacy from our end, Indian end, working in Seychelles? Do the people there enjoy the Indian movies or yoga that we are promoting, kind of? So my question to you would be on that, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay, so let's conclude the questions here and let's give the final word to the Excellencies. I'll start with you, sir.
Yeah, I was expecting this question, but negotiation is still going on. Apart from that, I can't say more because it's it's ongoing. Yeah. Maybe we can talk in private, but I can't talk more.
Private conversation, yes.
Space collaboration. You have with Mauritius, no? Yes. Yeah, India, Mauritius. So why not with Seychelles? So it's question of thinking about it and start talking, no? If you Seychelles, Mauritius is there, small island as well. You can do it. Why not with Seychelles? So it's open, no?
So he's hoping that you would push it on the agenda.
But he has to give me some details because I'm not a special for that. Yeah, but it should be one because of the progress and everything. But India is doing now. Why not? Because we are open for every opportunity to explore all this. Okay. The other question is?
So how is Bollywood and movies and yoga and does India have a presence in your nation's consciousness?
Yes. Yoga, your High Commission in Seychelles is very, very active, and yoga is now, they have been able to mobilize a number of people practicing yoga. So yoga is very popular in Seychelles. And earlier I mentioned about Ayurvedic and everything. Why not in the health sector having something, yoga and the treatment together, and not only for Seychelles citizens, but for the tourists. The European visiting us, to make full use of it. And yes, Bollywood, who does not know in Seychelles? They say that for you to learn Hindi, just watch Bollywood film. But I have not had the opportunity to sit and watch one full Bollywood because no time. Yes, we are implicated.
Are they shooting in Seychelles? Are there Indian movies being shot there?
There was, and I'm working on it as well, trying to connect with the Bollywood actors and Bollywood body to have them to go to Seychelles, and I think the door is opening now, so I have to push it to open widely.
Yes, so from Maldives to Seychelles, that will be the trajectory. But thank you so much. It was a pleasure hosting the Excellencies today, and it was a wonderful conversation because I think it reflected on some of the the ties that bind the Indian Ocean countries, not only geopolitics, which of course we live through day in and day out, but also at the people-to-people level where engagements have been very substantive, and hopefully we can continue to grow them and nurture them. One area where we would also like to see more is in the academic exchanges and perhaps more of think tank exchanges. We need to do much more capacity in and out, and of course youth exchanges which would be very productive, hopefully. But thank you so much for joining us this afternoon and giving your time and your very, at times, diplomatic answers to very difficult questions that were posed by our audience. But thank you all for joining us this evening, and hopefully please join us for our future events as well. Let's give a big round of applause to those two.
Let me thank you, Professor, for having us, and thank you for the audience who stayed. It means there is interest. And thank you for the questions.
Till the last minute, yes, they were very engaged. So that's, I think, it speaks volumes about yourself.
I think we have made our best, no? Thank you so much. Dhanyavad.
Thank you.